In previous lecture, we discussed about the secondary wastewater treatment method. In that, we discussed about the activated sludge process. So, this aerobic treatment process, which utilize a mixed population of organism, and this in this treatment method, the objective of this biological treatment of wastewater are to coagulate and remove the non-cyclable colloidal solid and to stabilize the organic matter with the help of mixed population of microorganisms. So broadly, it is divided into three types. The first one is attached growth process, then suspended growth process, and combined process. So attached growth process is an example of trickling filter, and suspended growth process is the example of activated sludge process. Okay. So we already discussed about activated sludge process. So activated sludge process is an example of the suspended growth process, and the treated effluent obtained from the operation of ASP is of high quality as compared to the trickling filter effluent, and the ASP effluent will have the low BOD values, and the BOD removal from 70 to 99% can be obtained in this biological treatment process. And the advantage of ASP, it requires the least land area and also the quality of sludge which produce is good. Okay, so in activated sludge process, the settled wastewater from primary settling tank is introduced into the reactor that is called as aeration tank, where an aerobic bacterial culture is maintained in suspension. That wastewater is called as mixed liquor. So in that aeration tank, in that reactor, the microorganism convert that soluble organic matter into energy, new cell mass and carbon dioxide gas, and the aerobic environment into that reactor is maintained with the help of diffuser mechanical aerator. That aerator helps to keep that mixed liquor in suspension. Okay. So this is what the process of activated sludge process. Then we discuss about the some different terms of activated sludge process, like organic loading, that is kg of BOD applied per day to the aeration tank. Then FM ratio, food to microorganism ratio, that is a daily BOD load to the total microbial mass in the system. Then we discuss about the various modifications in activated sludge process. Okay, so what are the various modifications activated sludge process? That is the first one is step variation, and due to what? Due to the some main limitations of conventional activated sludge process, like higher aeration tank volume requirement and lack of operational stability, some modifications are done in activated sludge process. So the first one is the step aeration. So in step aeration process, the wastewater is introduced at several points in the aeration tank, while the return sludge is introduced at the head. Okay, and this step aeration having some of the advantage, like oxygen demand is more evenly spread over the entire length of tank, resulting in better utilization of oxygen supply. Then multiple entry of substrate, thereby increasing removal of soluble organic by adsorption and higher BOD loading per unit volume. Then the second type, that is tapered aeration, where the air is supplied at different rates along the length of tank according to need. And some of the advantage, that is the less air requirement, lower the cost and avoidance of over aeration. Third one is contact stabilization, that is what this process is also known as bioabsorption. In this method, the settled wastewater is mixed with recirculated sludge and aerated in a contact tank for 30 to 90 minutes. Okay. And the last one, the next one is completely mixed. So completely mixed process, in this process, the some of the advantage of this complete mixed process, that is higher volumetric loading, low residence time of liquid and complete mixing. And the last one is the extended aeration process. So this process, extended aeration process, it employ the low organic loading, long aeration time, high MLSS concentration and low FM ratio. Thus, that is extended aeration, generally applicable only to small treatment plants with capacity of less than 4000 meter cube per day. Okay, and continuous complete mixing is either by diffuser or by mechanical aerators, and aeration period are 24 to 36 hours. Okay, so because of this condition as well as low BOD loading, the biological process is very stable and can accept intermittent load without upset. So this extended aeration process having some of the advantages, like excess sludge production is low, MLSS undergoes respiration and get well stabilized. The excess sludge does not require separate digestion, and the operation is simple due to limitation of primary settling and separate sludge digestion. Okay, so this is about the activated sludge process and the design of activated sludge process. So now, what are the different problems occurs in activated sludge process? So first one is the problem is the sludge floating at the surface of secondary settling tank. Why this problem occur in activated sludge process? So the why it is due to the more growth of filamentous organism. Okay. So due to the growth of filamentous organism, sludge floating at the surface of secondary settling tank. So what remedial measures should be used? So we can apply the chlorine. So if you apply chlorine, we can minimize that problem. So second problem in activated sludge process, that is low return sludge concentration. So why low return sludge concentration? That is caused due to the high return sludge rate or filamentous microorganism growth. Okay, so how to reduce that? By addition of chlorine, by increasing pH and DO. Also, we can reduce the return sludge rate so that we can maintain the low return sludge concentration. The next one is the foam. So the foam, that is foaming is occur, and foaming is why due to the detergents. If the detergents is present in wastewater, it acts as foaming, and the foaming can be reduced by sprinkling water on foam. The next problem in activated sludge process, that is dead spot in aeration tank. So dead spot in aeration tank, that is why due to less aeration and less DO dissolved oxygen, and due to plugging of air diffuser. Okay, so whatever solid which going to be into the hole of air diffuser, deposited in hole of air diffuser, that's why the air diffuser plug. So that's why dead spot in aeration tank, and a dead spot in aeration tank can be minimized by increasing rate of aeration and by clean or replace the diffuse aerator, so that we can minimize the dead spot in aeration tank. Next, small flock particles in settle effluent. So why small flock particles in settle effluent? More disturbance in aeration tank and system devoid of oxygen, and that can be minimized by increasing aeration rate. Okay, so these are some of various problems that occurs or that happen in activated sludge process, and we can use these are some remedial measures to overcome that problem. Okay, so now what are the advantages and disadvantages of activated sludge process? Okay, so this activated sludge process having some of the advantages, that is first, no problem of odor, no fly nuisance, no, that is removal of suspended solid and BOD around 90% each, then non-putrescible effluent, relatively low cost of installation, area required is small as compared to the other conventional treatment methods, and excess sludge has good fertilizer value. So these are various advantages of activated sludge process. Then what are the disadvantages? So no variation in quality of effluent is allowed. Next, the operation and maintenance cost is high. Next, skill supervision is required. Next, large quantity of sludge is produced. So these are various advantages and disadvantages of activated sludge process. Okay. So now come to the next, the attached growth process, that is attached growth biological treatment process. Okay. So the trickling filter is an example of attached growth process. So a trickling filter is a non-submerged fixed fill biological reactor using rock or plastic packing over which wastewater is distributed continuously. Okay. So trickling filter consists of a filter medium, wastewater distribution system, inlet pipe and wastewater collection system. So these are various parts of the trickling filter. The limitations of the trickling filter included a relatively high incidence of clogging, long rest period required, head loss, and the relatively low loading that could be saved. So in 1950s, the plastic packing began to replace the rock, which allowed to use a higher loading rate and taller filters, also known as biotowers, which less land area, improving process efficiency and reduce clogging. In 1960s, practical design are developed for rotating biological contractor, that is RBC, where the packing is rotated in wastewater treatment tank. So both trickling filter and RBCs have been used as aerobic attached growth process for BOD removal only, and combined BOD removal and nitrification. So in comparison to the activated sludge process, disadvantage encountered for trickling filters are poorer effluent quality in terms of BOD and total solid concentration, then greater sensitivity to lower temperature, odor production, and uncontrolled solids slugging events. Okay, so whatever that disadvantages which overcome by using this modification in trickling filter. So trickling filter and RBCs have also been used in combined process with activated sludge to utilize the benefit of both process in terms of energy saving and effluent quality. So if you use both activated sludge and trickling filter in combine and also RBCs in combine, we can uh, change the effluent quality. Okay, so this is the trickling filter. You can see the rotating influent distributor which distribute the wastewater and sewage, then dome enclosure, then filtered effluent, then air supplier, air influent, then treated water, then recycler, clarifier, and sludge and media. These are the different parts of the trickling filter. Okay, so as we already discussed, the trickling filter consists of the filter medium, then wastewater distribution system, inlet pipe, and wastewater collection system. So the settled wastewater from PST, that is primary settling tank, is sprayed through the nozzle of distributor. The wastewater sprinkle over the media produces a biological slime that coat the surface. The film consists of primarily bacteria, protozoa, and fungi that feed on the waste organic. Okay, so as the waste water flows over the slime layer, organic matter and dissolved oxygen are extracted and metabolic end products such as CO2 are released. Okay, so dissolved oxygen in the liquid is replenished by absorption from the air in the voids surrounding the filter media. So this is, you can see the trickling filter with the media and distributor arm. Okay, so trickling filter, the depth of the rock packing range from 0.9 to 2.5 meters, and average of it is 1.8 meter. Rock filter bed are usually circular, and the liquid wastewater is distributed over the top of the bed by a rotary distributor. Trickling filter that use plastic packing have been built in round, square and other shapes with depths varying from 4 to 12 meter. In addition to the packing, other components of trickling filter include a wastewater dosing or application system, an under drain and a structure to contain the packing. The under drain system is important both for collecting the trickling filter effluent liquid as a porous structure through the contact air can circulate. Okay, so what is the application of the under drain? The under drain system is important for the collection of trickling water effluent and also for the supply of air, for the circulation of air. Okay, so in practice, a portion of the liquid collected in the under drain system or the settle effluent is recycled to the trickling filter feed flow, usually to dilute the strength of incoming wastewater and to maintain enough wetting to keep the biological slime layer moist. Okay, so distributor arm extends across the trickling filter inner diameter and have variable openings to provide a uniform application rate per unit area. The distributor arm are rotated by the force of the water existing through their opening or by the use of electric drives. In some cases, especially for square or rectangular filters, fixed flat spray nozzles have been used.